Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 evening Board of Supervisors meeting and call this meeting to order. Our first item of business tonight will be a citizens forum. The conduct of the citizens forum is as follows. All meetings and work sessions shall be conducted by all participants with observance of the fundamental rules of civility, including restraint in demeanor and respect for others and their views. Shouting, profanity, threats, personal attacks, and other similar actions are unacceptable. Should the chairman determine that a participant is likely to or has violated the foregoing conduct guidelines, the chairman may take appropriate action. So with that, I will open up the citizens forum. This is an opportunity for anyone present tonight to come and speak for 3 minutes on anything that is not on the agenda. If it is on the agenda, there'll be an opportunity at a later time. So we actually have sign-up sheets, and tonight we have someone that has signed up. So our first person this evening will be Mr. Don Haight. Please come forward and tell us your name and magisterial district.
Good evening, Board of Supervisors. Don Haight from the great district of Stevensburg. Before I get started, I want to publicly thank Brad Rosenberg for his 40 years of service to Culpeper County as Board of Supervisors. When I talk about the many people who make Culpeper the great place to live, I'm talking about people like Brad. Culpeper is famous for its farming community, and that's Brad Rosenberg all day, every day. Not just raising cattle and grain, but selling seed as well to other farmers so they can do the same. Thank you very much, Brad, for everything you've done for Culpeper County. I also want to thank David Durr for his work as Board of Supervisors and managing the Culpeper County Farmers Co-op. Again, making Culpeper the great farming community it is today. Thank you, David. Susan G., my supervisor, a turkey farmer, a cattle rancher, preserving Culpeper's rural character by raising livestock. Susan, I want to publicly thank you as well for your efforts to keep Culpeper rural. They have all contributed greatly to keeping Culpeper rural and promoting the need for the use of our green space and agriculture pastures. I want Brad, David, and Susan to continue to give us their input and support. We have a mountain of challenges ahead of us, and it's never wise to climb a mountain by yourself. Brad, Dave, and Susan possess a wealth of knowledge, and I'm sure our new Board of Supervisors will embrace their wisdom. I want to congratulate Mandy Brown, Keith Farish, and Dwayne Payne Jr. for winning their races for the Culpeper County Board of Supervisors. Culpeper welcomes you all with open arms, and we are looking forward to working with you. At the last Board of Supervisors meeting, I asked the Culpeper residents to get involved and vote in last night's election and make their voices heard. The residents of Culpeper County spoke last night, and they were heard loud and clear. Now we must start the process of working together to make Culpeper better for all of us. There is no more me or them. It's now we. We must all do better so we can get better to be better. We can all grow together. Culpeper is a great place to live, and working together, we can keep it that way. I encourage everyone to support and volunteer at least one of our help-based organizations here in Culpeper. You can donate your time or space, and financial contributions are always welcome. There is a growing need to help those who have less here in Culpeper, and I urge you all to get involved and help. In this morning's meeting, the Board of Supervisors allocated $50,000 to the Piedmont Warming Shelter based here in Culpeper, an organization that helps those who are without shelter, those who are hungry, or simply need the support to get back on track. There are many organizations here in Culpeper that need your help. This is just one. I urge everyone to get involved because this is your community. Working together, we can keep Culpeper beautiful for generations to come. And my name is Donald Haight Jr. I love Culpeper, and I'm here to say thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Haight. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Come on up, ma'am. Tell us your name and magisterial district.
Hi, folks. My name is Lynn Bell. I'm a resident of Cedar Mountain. Sorry, it took me a moment to get going, so thank you, Mr. Durr, for your service, Chairman Durr. I wanted to introduce myself in an organization that I've been retained as advocate for and provide services to the community, to each of you, should you need any resources in the topic of affordable housing. Again, I'm Lynn Bell. I'm the retained advocate for the Culpeper Alliance for Affordable Housing. And that alliance is a grassroots organization that includes relationships with People Inc., the Fauquier Habitat, Culpeper Habitat, Central Virginia Habitat, as well as community housing partners. So why is this important? We're always talking about housing, right? It's important because at the July 25th, I believe, Go Virginia Region 9 Summit, the number one need declared by businesses was affordable housing. The number one need. It kept coming up over and over and over again. It's also important because as you look at a fully robust and developed economy, you're really talking about a complete workforce system. Essentially, developing from education, cradle to grave, workers, caring, productive, and responsible citizens. The human capital part of our community. And so when you consider equity for human capital, it really means that everyone should be able to afford to live and work in the community. And so pure equity would mean that the median household income would balance somewhat with the median housing price. Here in Culpeper, the median household income is roughly 40% of what is needed for the median home price. So that excludes a lot of people. And where do you put all those young workers, those entry-level workers? Not to mention those that may just choose to live in a smaller place so they could spend more money at our community businesses. So it's not necessarily about the number, but the type. And so just a brief moment about myself, at risk of sounding a little bit self-aggrandizing. I just want to share my experience after having served on the Fauquier Chamber of Commerce and as their chair on the Fauquier Business Advisory Committee, chair of the Balanced Growth Alliance, treasurer for the Balanced Growth Alliance PAC, as well as recently finishing law school with a specialty in nonprofit law. So the Culpeper Alliance for Affordable Housing and I myself are here at your service at the ease of a phone call. I'd be happy to chat with you. I look forward to meeting with many of you individually just to get your thoughts on the needs of affordable housing in the community. Thank you so much for your service, and thank you and much rest for those that will be rolling off after a very grueling campaign season. Take care.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Mr. Updike.
I actually moved out to Kane tonight. After being juiced up about 3 times at the hospital and the pain doctor, it's okay. Had an epidural in my neck yesterday. I think a good juice went down to my hip, so I'm thankful. I'm Francis Updike, Cedar Mountain District. I know what you think I'm here for. Yes, that, but my wife asked me, said, here you're almost 81 years old. What are you going out to the meeting for? I said, because I care about Culpeper, and you need to thank the people who've served. Susan, David, Brad, we go a long ways back. When your father was on the board of directors at Rappahannock Electric Co-op, I know he knew how to fight for Culpeper, and Brad has filled in nicely. Brad, Bill Chase, and I ran for board of supervisors one year. I know what it is to lose. And David, I know what it is to run against a family, people with family ties. When I ran, the former Claude Gwynn, the former postmaster, his son-in-law running, Vince Beasley. And when the bus pulled up from the Baptist home, as they got off, said, now, Claudia, what did you say your son-in-law's name was? Okay, I said, thank you very much. So I've tried to serve Culpeper in another capacity, thanks to you guys. Now, I wanted to thank all of you. You've been a good, cohesive group to work with, and I hope that the successes will follow in your footprints. So, and I know you'll help where you can, and thank you for all you've done for Culpeper and trying to make it better. And now, of course, the last thing always on my mind is the road for Pearl Sample and A.G. Richardson. Yes, it's personal. I have 2 grandchildren, A.G. Richardson. But there are about 1,500 people at risk every day. Not that it would prevent something bad from happening, but it certainly would minimize it. And I'm not going to go through all of it again. Every one of you up there agree with me. We've talked about it. I understand that we're inching closer, but there may be another snag, or I don't know, someone just mentioned about the funding. We may have to start that process or accelerate it or do something. You know what would be nice for the Christmas present for the folks of Culpeper who have children in schools and who work there, teach there, would be a signature on that piece of property saying the road is and the right-of-ways belong to Culpeper. Nothing could be better. So I thank you all for your service, and I'm going to excuse myself and before I have to get the pain pill for the night. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to come forward? Anyone else? Seeing no one, we will close the citizens forum. We have an agenda before us. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, we will move forward as presented. Moving on, there's no general county business, planning commission business. Case number 5.01. I will ask Mr. Drumhiller to introduce this case.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. To introduce the case, I'll read a letter from the Planning Commission. The Board of Supervisors will consider a request by Uliser Leon Rancho Feroz for a conditional use permit to allow operation of an agritourism event facility per section 3-2-2.1b. Agritourism, in the instance there is a substantial impact on health, safety, or general welfare of the public, and in general accordance with Article 17 conditional use permits of the zoning ordinance. The property is zoned A1 agricultural and is located along Stones Mill Road, Route 672 in the Stevensburg Magisterial District. It's found on Tax Map 45, Parcel 15A. The case was considered by the Planning Commission after proper advertising and public hearing held on Wednesday, October 8, 2025. The Planning Commission found the request not to be in conformance with Article 17 of the zoning ordinance, specifically noting that the proposal would affect adversely the health or safety of the persons residing or working in the neighborhood of the proposed use due to traffic concerns. Upon motion duly carried, the Planning Commission recommends to the Board of Supervisors by a 5-4 vote that the proposed use permit be denied. Sincerely, Sanford Reeves, Jr. If you'll bear with me, I have a few remarks before I turn it over to the applicant who is here. To begin with, I'd like to read a definition of agritourism from the zoning ordinance. Agritourism, any activity carried out on a farm or ranch that allows members of the general public for recreational, entertainment, or educational purposes to view or enjoy rural activities, including farming, wineries, ranching, historical, cultural, harvest-your-own activities, or natural activities and attractions. An activity is agritourism whether the activity is paid or whether the participants are paid to participate or not. I'd like to distinguish here that the applicant does conduct agritourism on this property, and that is a by right or principal use. The activity in question that I have determined or staff has determined that would have a substantial impact would be the proposal of what is called a charreria, or a Spanish-style rodeo. This type of agritourism, due to the frequency, the amplified music that is proposed, and the size of the crowd, represents a substantial impact to the neighborhood. I'll mention that originally the applicants had spoke to me concerning the crowd size to be 4,000 people. Through the process, they've brought that down to 1,700 people. I can share that last year there were 3 events issued by the County Administrator's Office through Chapter 3, Division 2, for outdoor music and entertainment festivals. And during that time, that code is not the zoning ordinance, and special events can be held from 99 to 499 people on an occasional yearly basis. That did occur, and I would also share that last year no formal complaints were received by the zoning office. Can you bring up the aerial map, number 4? I would bring up, when Kim brings this up, that it's the 4th one, I believe, Kim. Yeah. Well, the next one. Oh, there's number 5. I apologize. It shows that the area is relatively, well, maybe 3.
It should say area.
It should say aerial casement right there. There we go. Yeah, you can see there that there is, very sparsely populated in the area. There's forest to the north and east. There are homes in the area, and the reason I'm pointing this out is it's a relative, big impact on a quiet neighborhood. The population in this part of the county, as you all know, is not large, so there's not a lot of people impact, but the impact could be significant. The applicant is here, so I won't belabor all the points, but I would like to read the staff recommendations if you were to approve this. And there are 10 of them, so bear with me, please. Number 1, the number of agritourism events exceeding 200 participants shall be limited to 5 times per calendar year. Number 2, noise decibel levels for amplified music shall not exceed 75 decibel levels at the property lines of the subject parcel. A sound, and this is additional language since the Planning Commission, a sound abatement wall or stage backstop wall of sufficient height shall be constructed to the southwest of the stage area in order to generally direct the sound from the stage to the forest areas to the northeast of the parcel. Number 3, a MOT, management of traffic plan, shall be submitted and approved by VDOT and implemented for the events. This plan shall include traffic routing signage in the vicinity along with required dust control of adjacent gravel roads. In addition, the Virginia State Police shall be notified and utilized to manage regional event traffic. Number 4, an emergency management plan shall be submitted to the Culpeper County Emergency Services Department that includes a secondary emergency entrance to the site, and the Culpeper Fire and vetted through the Culpeper Fire and Rescue Association shall be notified of any event, and any required protocols from them shall be observed. Number 5, the use of temporary porta-john facilities shall be in accordance with the Virginia Department of Health requirements and provided by licensed carriers or sewage handlers. Number 6, food services that are provided on site shall be permitted through Virginia Department of Health. All food service providers shall register with the Commissioner of Revenue prior to the participation in any event. Number 7, any site lighting shall be in conformance with Article 32 lighting standards, and no events shall continue past local sunset time. Number 8, all stages and bleachers utilized on the site shall be brought up to Virginia statewide building code and approved by the Culpeper County building official. Number 9, the conditional use permit shall be made for and only be held valid for the current owners and applicants. And number 10, finally, the applicant shall construct a secondary emergency entrance along Stones Mill Road prior to the commencement of operation. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll entertain any questions. And the applicant
Thank you.
is present.
Any questions for staff? Mr. Lee?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Neil. So the main entrance is to the facility is off of Stones Mill Road, correct?
That's correct.
And that is a gravel road, correct?
It is a gravel road. There's 110 approximate average daily traffic count, and right there with the cursor is the main entrance. The secondary entrance that's being proposed is further down. The applicant can go into
Okay.
that further, but yes, sir.
And then one final thing, you had mentioned that there were some complaints from the other events. Could you share with us what
There
those
were
complaints?
no
there were no complaints, okay.
formal complaints
Gotcha.
received previously. There have been, citizen input since then opposing it,
Right.
but yeah.
Okay, all right.
None last year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Other
Sure.
questions?
Yeah, Mr.
Ms.
Chairman, I have
Steele.
a question. So by right is, you said 0 to 499 participants can be at an event?
The by right aspect of agritourism is more geared towards the substantial impact determination. When I mentioned the 0 to 499, that is outdoor entertainment and festival permit that is not issued on a regular basis. So that's the impetus for them being here, is that they wanted to do it more than once or twice a year at a number higher than 499.
So they've reduced it down to 1,700?
1,700, and they originally had proposed 4,000 and more times per year, but they have, been working with us and hearing the feedback from the Planning Commission and the staff.
Are they willing maybe to go just a little bit more, reduce it just a little bit more to have a cap on it?
That I can't speak to, but I can share that they are amenable to all 10 conditions that I read.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? All right, if that is the applicant here, would you like to come up and present? Please give us your name and then go ahead.
My name is Ken Sanchez. And I'm William Hume. I'm the civil engineer that's representing Mr. Sanchez. So we did appear before the Planning Commission and thought we had a good day that day, but we were not recommended up in that particular case. So we got our heads together and put some things together about the things that we wanted to do, and a few things. I know Mr. Sanchez is going to give you a very thorough presentation about the things that the Rancho Fres will offer, but a few things that I wanted to talk about, if I can read my own writing here. Neil was kind enough to bring into being what the agrotourism actually is. It's intended for occurring in farm areas, in farm communities, very much like the one that we've got here. So we are actually meeting what the agrotourism is proposing for things to happen in that fashion. We are not proposing to change the existing conditions on site, with the exception of the new entrance that we're bringing in onto Stoneman's Mill Road, and improving the entrance, the existing entrance, to accommodate the vehicles, some of the larger vehicles like agriculture trucks, livestock trucks, and things like that. The benefits to this are to the entire county and the surrounding communities as well. We'll be bringing in some different cultural activities, things that citizens of Culpeper County and local might not have the occasion to observe, which I think is a great benefit to the county, including, the neighbors that are closest. The emergency management piece of that, we've mentioned an MOT. I know Neil mentioned that in the conditions. I've spoken at length with Bill Ooten, and that's a thing that Fire and Emergency Services does take charge of as far as each of these events is concerned. So there will be signage, there will be emergency access and management to the properties, there will be local and state police and signage to manage that particular event. And just to bring up that the second entrance is actually already proposed with our plan, where Neil pointed it out. Civil engineer, my family has been in the Commonwealth for about 300 years, so I'm a local product as well. So anyway, I'll defer back to the applicant.
So as far as a little bit more information about the property, as Neil mentioned, we're on about 43, 44 acres of land. About 1,300, or between 1,300 and 1,600 is the nearest home to that property. We are pretty vigilant as far as when it comes to sound. In the past, last year with the three events that we had, we were very, very considerate as far as sound. 75 decibels from the property line is what the recommendation or what it says it needs to be at. I personally, at the last event that we had, I was at the property line with the music, and we were reading about 65 decibels for that reading. So again, we want to be very considerate, as Neil mentioned, one of the conditions, it being a sound wall to reduce that sound waves, whether it goes into the trees or to the surrounding areas, and as far as the nearest home being 1,300 feet away, we want to be careful with that as well. So conditionally, just general information as far as what we're looking to complete here. 44 acres, 3 acres of that land are going to be used for the event. Roughly, as far as parking, 10 acres of that is going to be the front lawn. Once I get an aerial shot here, I'll show you exactly where that's going to be. Hours of operation for these events, we're looking to be from 12 p.m. To 8 p.m. Later on, as the last bullet point says, so the last event of the year we want to do is in October. As the sun sets a little bit earlier in the day, we want to avoid using any generated light or any floodlights, so we're not bothering our neighbors or just creating more issues for it, right? So those hours will change when it comes to the sunset being a little bit more earlier, and make sure we're not bothering anybody with those floodlights. As we mentioned before, 4 to 5 events a year we're looking to host on the property. We're not looking to do this every single weekend. We're not looking to have large groups. We respect the neighbors. We understand what it is when it comes to a lot of people driving up and down that road. I completely understand. Music, another thing, as I mentioned, whether it be like with the floodlights bothering the neighbors, we want to make sure that music and just crowd control really is being taken care of when it comes to these larger events. Each and every event, the Sheriff's Department and private security, the past 3 events that we've had, Sheriff's Department has been on that property. Same thing with private security. We've had no issues inside the event. We have a pretty good organization when it comes to it, pretty on top of everything that needs to be completed during those events, and no issues that we've had so far in these past 3 events. Like I've mentioned before, no events during the winter, so we're not going to, I know we had a comment from the neighbors last time about that corner. We sit on that corner. When I get that aerial shot, there was going to be an issue because they say it typically ices up, but we're not looking to have any events during the winter months. Again, when it comes to larger events, we're looking to only do 4 to 5 a year. We'll have Virginia State Police and, again, the local Sheriff's Department with that as well. So as Neil mentioned before, when we first started this, at first it was going to be 4,000 people, but we could reconsider it, and we thought that was a little excessive. So we brought that down to first then 2,500, and then now 1,700. So these are available tickets. So we're not saying every single event will they be 1,700 people. There's 1,700 tickets available to be sold. All right. So a lot of our tickets that we have are online. They're managed by online, and what we're looking to plan is have roughly about 1,000 tickets available online, and then being in person about the rest of the difference would be 700. So we're not saying that at full capacity or 100% of these tickets are being sold, but that's what we're going to have roughly as far as available for sale. And after that, the 800 people. So these past events that we've had, the past 3 events, we've had roughly about 450 people. The property doesn't seem like it's jammed up with people, so it's a good area as far as people being able to walk around. With these larger events, I believe we have the area to have it safely and have it enjoying for the people here. So as we mentioned before, the property does sit on a gravel road, and what we plan to do and what we see when just pulling up to the property, we can see just with the trucks and cars behind us the large the clouds of dust that come up from the gravel, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like when several vehicles go over that road. So what we want to do is reduce that dust control with watering it the days of the events, throughout the days of the events, to make sure that all that stuff stays down and doesn't really bother the neighbors. So again, when it comes to being considerate, we're trying to think of it different angles and really not disturb the neighbors when it comes to these events. Same thing as I said before, no generated lights. We want to keep these in between the daylight. We want to make sure that everyone will be able to leave the property on time, and security is going to be there until the last vehicle leaves, and so there's no loitering with the neighbors on our property ourselves. These 2 entrances on the property we allow for entering and exiting vehicles. Virginia State Police will be at every single event. That's what we said we were going to do. These previous events, last year that we had, VSP was not there, but we intend for a larger crowd like this, we intend to have them on the property as well. Let's see. So food and beverages, we intend 100% use local food vendors. Even last year that we did have these events, a few of them were there, again, because it wasn't that many people. I believe we only had 1 or 2 food vendors on site. the vendors will have a charge fee for their post. Like any other event that you would be at, all beverages will be provided by us ourselves. And these previous events, we've had alcohol for sale, but with that being said, we do have an ABC license. An ABC license doesn't issue a license without a permit being submitted and accepted first by the county and VDOT at the end of it. And then Rancho Feroz, when it comes into helping out the community and giving back to it, I mean, we have the prepared food tax and the Culpeper, so that'd be another benefit of these events here. So when it comes to alcohol, I know that's a big, I wouldn't necessarily say dilemma for lack of a better word, but when it comes to making sure everyone's of age, we ID, right? So just like any other bar or any place that sells alcohol, we want to make sure that they're of age. And as well, we have the Sheriff's Department and private security that are checking. We do have ways to identify either 21 or over 21, I'm sorry, under 21 and over 21, whether that be a bracelet or an X on their hand. It's not the first time we've done it. We've done it at every single event. Every single event last year we had a license with that too, so it wouldn't be nothing new to us. Bartenders, they are trained in what exactly they need to look out for, and I believe it's BASA training that they need to go to as well, which they're good on that. So metal detectors and lightly frisked. So when we want to make sure everyone on the property is safe. So when we say metal detectors, we have, again, when I bring up the aerial shot of the property, I'll show you where we plan on having these metal detectors. We want to make sure that no one's going to have any issues within it. Again, we didn't have any last year. With parking, I believe it was roughly 400 vehicles we have intended if it were to be maxed out like at 17. Yeah. Yeah, so roughly about 400 cars. I believe that would be four times the daily VDP on that road. So when it comes to people coming onto the property, leaving the property safely, we got that as far as the volunteers or people are specific, whether it be VSP or the Sheriff's Department guiding those vehicles on and off the property. So we want to make sure, again, they're leaving the property and not causing a nuisance on the property or around us. Let's see. So facilities, I know one of the conditions was the porta johns, and this is exactly where we're at here with it. Restrooms for patrons will be on site, 24 stalls in total. After this slide, I believe I do have a chart showing exactly from a professional distributor website that does do these porta johns, how many you would have for how many hours and the quantity of people that you would have in those events. ADA stalls, compliant stalls will be available, wash stations for the patrons, shelter from weather conditions are provided. So again, I'll show you that in the photos I have here coming up. Any all trash created by the event picked up during and after the event, trash will be disposed at the landfill. We have that taken care of already. We have a 7x16 dump trailer that after every event, same thing we did last year. We have trash cans all around the property as well. And anything that's dropped on the floor, we do take care of it during and after the event, and everything's disposed of properly. So here's that chart I was showing you. So if we're looking at here, if we're running from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., that's roughly about 8 hours. If we're looking between that 1,000 and 2,000 people, you line those up, we're looking at 14 to 15 stalls. So if we're looking at 24 stalls for that time, we're well over that percentage as far as what we need to handle the quantity of people. So right below it, it says alcohol will be served. You wouldn't typically have about 20% more. Would be 15 of that 20%. So 2 or 3 more stalls. We have 24. That'd be sufficient enough for those events. So the aggregate tourism permit. This is in addition to what we're looking to have as far as these larger events. We're looking to have 3 days a week. So we're looking to have whether it be demonstrations, a petting zoo. We have the stables that we're looking to have that people tour. So with this being said, it brings a little bit more activities to the county. More importantly, as I present, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. But we're not looking to host many people during these 3 days. It'd be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., 30 to 50 people max. So VDP wouldn't really be brought up from that. I reckon about 5 to 10 more cars with that. Staff on property to facilitate. We're looking to host for the community of Culpeper and the surrounding counties. Again, goes back to having more activities to do, whether that be throughout the summer or these holidays that are coming up, whether it be Christmas lights or hayride when it comes to Halloween and such things like that. one thing that would interest us highly would be to accept local schools or daycares as field trips, because we do have those petting zoos. As Neil mentioned earlier, we are looking to have that sportsmanship as a demonstration, which is called a charreria. Whether it be a field trip for a high school that's in Spanish class, or having to understand the culture a little bit better, we'd be more than happy to host these schools and daycares, whether it be just a petting zoo or showing in demonstrations as far as these horsemanship. Activities, as I mentioned, there's a demonstration of Mexican sport called charreria. Petting zoo, complete walk-around tour of Rancho Feroz, including the barn, cow sighting, lienzo walk. Lienzo, what it is the arena. Again, these pictures ahead of here will show you exactly what that is. Horseback riding with docile and trained horses is what we're looking to achieve there. On Fridays, we'd extend invitations to our local farmers in Culpeper for farmers market to help out. Hay rides for all the guests to arrive at Rancho Feroz when given a chance. Demonstration of cow milking during certain seasons, decorate property, and adjust farmers market for seasonal foods and fruit. So that's another thing we're looking to expand out to, whether it be with local vendors and having the local residents come out and enjoy the time of the property and getting to meet new people and doing exactly what people like to do on whether it be Saturdays or Sundays. As far as staff, we'd love to hire local high school students. So when it comes to summer break, that's the time we typically have these larger events, or we'd like to do these agritourism days. It would be during preferably the summer. Certified location to be used as a community service location. So again, when somebody needs to come in and complete some service hours, we'd love to help them out in any situation that we can. Have professional horse riders for any and all demonstrations, and hire within the community and the surrounding areas. So given that high school kids or older people, wherever it may be, that wants to pass some time with some animals and have a good time during the summer, is what we're looking to complete. One of the things that I was told last time by a gentleman here, not many people present their potential adverse effects. So as I mentioned, one of the first things, the amount of dust coming up from medium traffic traveling on gravel road, water down beginning and during events that'll be completed. Traffic that is created by our larger events, we have Virginia State Police coordinate and make sure they're going in and off the property as they should, and not causing a nuisance to the surrounding area. As I mentioned, decibels, 75 decibels from the property line. We want to make sure that those decibels are brought down to, like I said, right now it reads about 65. If we can reduce it to 50, 55, that'd be a tremendous help, especially with the neighbors where you don't have the trees stopping the sound waves. That's exactly what we want to accomplish. Like I said, not causing a nuisance with the surrounding areas of the neighbors. Having Sheriff's Department, VSP, and our own private security to make sure all people and vehicles leave the property in the surrounding areas. The trash, same thing, getting rid of it properly, and making sure that we're keeping clean inside and outside of the property, whether that be on Stone Mills Road or on our property as well, just making sure everything's stayed nice and clean. With the amount of vehicles in passage onto the property for the grass or soil, the grass and soil does not loosen. I apologize to Justice. I did say we were going to add gravel to heavily walked areas, whether it be the driveways or where they park their vehicles, and on to walking over to the event area. We agreed just wood chips. Yeah, so we're not adding too much, so it's biodegradable. We're not really causing an issue with the ground there. So these proof here with the last 3 events that we had last year, every single one of them, permits from previous events we've hosted. All events we hosted, we've had one. When it says noise, one complaint official, we did have neighbors, as Neil said, they had come up to us and mentioned about it. And again, we reduced it. We want to be considerate of these neighbors when they have something to say about the music or just anything in general. We want to be considerate. And we're very strict with end times, respecting the local residents in the county. Again, if we had an issue with going over our time, if I were to have to say 8:30 would be the latest I had anybody on the property, whether that be including everyone leaving off the event site and into their vehicles, and everyone outside off the property. So this is exactly what that property looks like right now. There's a bar and that main stage that's sitting right there below the screen. the keyhole shape, the arena, that's what is called a lienzo, and the roof, the gable that's sitting right there, that's in place. That's one of the shelters for the events, whether it become rainy or whatever Mother Nature has to grab for those events. You got there, right there. So in the far left, you got the blue little house that's a secondary bar, and then you have your pop-up tents that we have during those events, and those are properly secured into the ground there. So this is a picture of our last events that we had. This was, 2 events ago that we had last year in October. So last year, so I believe this day we only had roughly about 350 people. So you can see that doesn't look like much people. So you got the ambulance again. All these events that we have sheriff's department there, and we've also had the paramedics there per the responsibilities to have when we're hosting these events. That's what the county asks for us to have on the property while these events are going on. Same thing, we had live music, amplified music, and I believe the same thing. This is one of the events that lasted no more than about 8:30. Everyone else off the property, and making sure that everyone's taken care of after the fact of that. So here's a little bit more aerial shots of that. Let's see here. So if I go back. So if you look at your bottom right picture where the gentleman's sitting in the horse with those 2 vehicles, that gravel, the gray gravel to the white gravel, that's where we plan on having those metal detectors, all right? So we have those vehicles. We have the vehicles. If you look at your bottom right picture, you have that road that goes, that's our property, our driveway right there that leads into Stone Mills Road. All those vehicles that are backed up right there, when we do have those events, they are parked there to pay for parking. So we have that, and then from there we plan on, as you see that larger field, that's our 10-acre field that we plan on using for parking, and adding those wood chips to those heavily trafficked areas. So going back to the left-hand side picture is where we plan on putting those metal detectors, making sure no one's coming in with things that shouldn't, and checking IDs, whether that be 21 or under. So we want to make sure it's a family-friendly event. So we want to make sure that those that are able to do so are able to do it legally, and we want to make sure we stay within that law and making sure everyone's properly vetted for that. A little bit more pictures of aerial pictures of the last event, keyhole shape arena. So this is that first event. So you got myself with the sheriff's department, a couple of sheriff deputies that were there, and then you got my uncle and his wife that are sitting in the back here today. So this is the event that every single officer that had been to our event have completely enjoyed. And if you'd ask them, they'd tell you exactly what I'm telling you right now. So a little bit more aerial footage of this lienzo that we call it here. So these are the staff recommendations that Neil had mentioned a little bit earlier today. Exactly, just word for word. So final, I mean, we're new to the county. We've been here for hitting December 2 years, but we'd love to provide and give back to the people that have been living in Culpeper County for a long time. We understand that our new presence, people will be hesitant at first, and I completely understand it. That's with anyone really, but we truly believe that we'd be giving a great opportunity to the community, whether it be local or the surrounding counties, but more importantly, the people within the county and our district as well. But we do appreciate you giving us the time and interest working here. Thank you. Anything else to say? What they pulled up last time as far as the parcel? The MOT, or the expansion of the driveway?
Yeah, you have the overall site page. Keep going. That was a good one. Oh, actually, that one you just showed there, I know there was some concerns. That right there, there was concerns about sight distance for the entrance and the danger presented at that curve. I'll refer to as Dead Man's Curve. This is the site. Which one do I push?
Go forward.
Which one's for the light? The pointer.
I believe the top.
Yeah.
Is it? There
Yeah. So this is. Let's see. Event entrance. main entrance. This is in the existing right-of-way, looking right and looking left, indicating that there's no obstructions of visibility from the eye of the person in a vehicle leaving from that location. Likewise, at the entrance that we're proposing, looking right and looking left, there are no obstructions, so the person operating in that space would be able to see vehicles coming from both sides. And then, so this, curses. This is where our second entrance is proposed. This is where we're proposing roughly 400 parking spaces. There's also some parking spaces here. There's handicap, including van accessible spaces at the front, at the top up here, and also at the top up here, which would allow ADA access from the parking areas. And then the pictures that Kenny was showing are all up in this area right here. And then back in here as well, we'll have buses and vehicles for livestock and horse trailers and things. And, we've accounted for the number of vehicles that are coming in and out here and in and out here. And although it's a higher number, because of the number of events, how often they will be occurring, these will be rare occurrences. So,
Yeah.
is that about it?
Yeah, I just want to mention these last things. So, again, thank you guys for hearing us out. I just got a few last points here. What I do suggest here, again, we've had these events, these past 3 events with absolutely no issue. We haven't had the opportunity to have larger crowds to do so, but I believe we have the responsibility in the organization to do so. And apologies, not necessarily the qualifications, but even so, I believe that we do have the proper items to complete this. So what I do ask, if it is possible, when put a kind of like a 2-year limit, if you will, for the CUP to see if that give us the opportunity to show you that we have the possibility to have those larger events with no issue, and kind of come back to it after, whether it be 1 or 2 years after a couple seasons of operation, have a better understanding of what it is that occurred to only assumptions is what we'd be going based off of right now compared to going based off of our last previous events that we've had in a smaller quantity here. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for the applicant?
No, go ahead, Susan.
Ms. Gugino? No? Supervisor Lee?
Yes, sir, Mr. Sanchez, thank you for that presentation. So currently, Rancho Feroz, you mentioned in the agritourism permit that you wanted to operate Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 4.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
With 30 to 50 people, and petting zoo and hay rides, I think. So currently, you're not doing that on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday basis.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So that's part of
Our agritourism.
the application, right?
Yes, sir.
The other part is
The larger
events during. Okay, got it. So currently at your facility, it's only been these 3 events where you've had several hundred people come and watch the charreria and.
Correct.
Have a great time, music
Correct.
and all that kind of stuff.
That's
Okay,
right.
got it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just trying to make sure that I had a handle on kind of what you've been doing and versus what you want to do.
Thank you for asking.
So, yes, sir. Thank you.
Supervisor Deal?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Sanchez, the pictures you displayed kind of reminds me of a mini Commonwealth Park. And I have the vision of Zorro coming in a black cape and waving the sword there. I mean, that's kind of what it looked like to me. It was pretty cool. I kind of liked the appearance of that.
Thank you.
I guess I'm back to the 1,700 tickets. And you mentioned 800 and 1,000 tickets. Is there room to come down on that based on the road and the transportation part of it?
Sure. So we've definitely considered a lot of it. Like I said at the beginning, we were at 4,000, then dropped down to 2,500. Now we're at 1,700.
Yeah.
Again, It's very tough to say. You never know what kind of events, how many people are going to show up. We can only assume the X amount of people that will show up. The thing with that is, like I said, it's 100 or 1,700 tickets available for purchase. Say we make an event, 1,700 available, but only 500 come. You know, that's always the tough part to really distinguish whether is it going to be good or is it not. If that answers your question there.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Bates?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What is this an active farm? I mean, what type of farming do you do there?
So right now we do have cows there and goats. So the farming that we do we milk the cows. We do have a restaurant up in Northern Virginia, Manassas, that we do with the milk, and we make our cheese and sell it within the restaurant. Same thing with the eggs. We sell the eggs within the restaurant as well.
And has this company ever had this type of event at other areas in Culpeper County? Have you ever been affiliated or associated with this type of event at other areas in Culpeper?
No, not in Culpeper, no.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Ms. Gugino?
So just a clarification from staff. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 30 to 50 people, they can do that today by right, no permits required
Absolutely.
due to the agricultural, basically
Yeah,
identifying as an
agritourism.
agritourism. So that's not part of the conditional use. What you're looking to do is put upwards of 1,700 people on Stones Mill Road, going in multiple directions. I noticed in your presentation you had kind of or in the concept plan, it was the directional of where people are going to go. And it looks like you're expecting most of the people coming from Northern Virginia because you have directed everybody from 29 north of Culpeper. So are you aware of the multitude of ways that people are going to utilize our roads to get to your facility? And I know I travel this road very often, and very often with a cattle trailer, and have never really had a great experience taking cattle trailers across that road. And I couldn't imagine bringing in that many cars, that many trailers, that many people into this road, onto that corner. My other concern is their secondary entrance or an exit. So when you have all these people leaving, they are going to be 8 o'clock and they're going to have headlights on, whether they're daytime running routes or not. You're going to be shining into those two houses that are right across from the property for every single vehicle that leaves there because of where you put that secondary entrance. And I spoke to both of those people, and I looked back at your property, and I could visibly see, with no obstruction and no barrier whatsoever, the platform which you guys have the band on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of concerns for me. I know how sound travels over here. When the people who have written in said they're a mile and a half away and can still hear you as though they're sitting on your facility, I don't doubt it. I have the same situation in where I live. Sound travels far, so what you hear at your property line, somebody else hears a mile away. That is another concern of mine. And the land that you guys have on here and the parking that you guys are displaying, if we ever had a year like we did in 2018 where the entire month of May it rained, you would not be able to park a single car on that property until probably July or August, because that soil definitely does not shed water very well.
Yeah, we've had our fair share experience with that.
Yes. So this facility, this size, it's very hard for me to see how this is going to work on a long-term basis with as many events as you want to have. That grass is not going to last past the first year. So it's a struggle for me that the area is not best suited. It's gravel. The paved roads around that are exceptionally windy. They're exceptionally narrow. And it's a very big concern for me, as most of the people sitting behind you as well.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we will open up the public hearing. This is an opportunity for anyone that would like to come forward and speak for 3 minutes about this issue. Is there anyone that would like to come forward? Sir, come on up.
members. My name is Gary Pittman. I'm a resident of the Stevensburg District. I live on Stones Mill Road. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight and point out several reasons that I'm opposing the general use permit being sought by this applicant. My family moved to the home we built in 1993 to live in the country where it is quiet and other concerns of urban and suburban living did not really exist. Up until about a year and a half ago, the quiet of this agricultural community did exist. Since the residents of this location started holding events with festival permits, the noise during these events, music and loudspeakers can be heard from my home that is 1 mile away, both indoors and outdoors. In my home and out of my home, I can hear it. Kelly's Ford already has events that can be heard from my home on occasion, and it is 3 to 4 miles from where I live. I believe if you own property, you should be allowed to conduct legal activities if the activities is disruptive or disturbing to surrounding property owners, it should not be allowed to continue. At a recent Planning Commission meeting, the general use permit was denied. I heard an individual, I was watching it online, heard an individual say that Stones Mill Road is a solid road that sheds water, can easily handle the volume of cars being requested. I would respectfully disagree with that assessment. In the summer months, Stones Mill Road is a dust bowl, riddled with washboarding. And the dust produced by one vehicle is horrendous. In the winter months, the road is mostly mud, riddled with potholes. The Virginia Department of Transportation attempts to keep up with it, but it is a daunting task. Portions of Stones Mill are 14 feet in width, and vehicles have to stop to go onto the shoulder or go onto the shoulder to safely pass, but in some locations, no shoulders exist. Additionally, there are 2 high water locations with signs measuring up to 5 feet. I have witnessed over the years vehicles stuck in the high water. Luckily, no one's been washed away. Another road in the area, Newbie Shop Road, is about a half mile from the property that is in question. It's improved, tarred shipped several years ago, and the Virginia Department of Transportation is constantly filling potholes, and the volume of traffic being requested would negatively impact this road as well as causing its deterioration. During the planning board, I also heard the applicant present saying they wanted to introduce the culture, okay? I don't know a whole lot about the culture, but I can only speak to what I have witnessed. What I have witnessed since the people living on that property have held horse parades is about the best way that I can describe it down Stones Mill Road, where you've got riders, many horses, and vehicles with loudspeakers on the back of them playing loud music going up and down the road. But what is the most disturbing about it is whenever vehicles come up behind them, they don't move. They don't allow you to pass. So that's occurred on several occasions. Other occasions, I've witnessed the horseback riders drinking beer and urinating on private property. Lastly, of great concern to me would be, I'm a former law enforcement officer, and I know what large events where alcohol is being served, what it does to the community. We're talking about drunk driving, drunk in publics, disorderly conduct, and fights. Those things occur. In closing, if members of the board are considering any chance of approving this permit, I would ask you, would you want this in your district? Okay? I think we all need to strongly listen to the recommendation from the area's board member and the residents of this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward?
Hi, my name is John Madden. I'm with the Stevensburg District. So I'm going to talk primarily about safety. So safety of the residents and the event attendees should be the primary consideration when making this decision. So, there were 2 documents that were attached to the Board of Supervisors agenda, so I'm going to reference a couple of those. The case analysis document from September 25th by the staff, and the memo to the Board of Supervisors from Mr. Drumheller dated October 29th. So from Mr. Drumheller's memo, it's 44 acres on the property, 29% of it for the activity, which comes down to 13 acres. 10 acres of that is going to be, if they've already stated, is going to be for parking. So if you look at the 3 acres of the event where people are going to be, and you add in vehicles, stages, equipment, and livestock, now you're getting to the point where you're looking at, on 3 acres, you're looking at probably over 600 people per acre. That's a safety issue. That's a big concern. And you're looking at about 425 cars. And you have to expect 1,700, tickets. You have to expect 1,700 people to show up every single time, regardless of what's said. Their original estimate said, hey, we're looking at 100 to 120, 150 cars. Well, that wasn't even close. So even if that's what you're looking at, that's over 13 people per vehicle. That's just unrealistic. So that's not going to happen. The next on the case analysis document that was performed on 9/25 under the comprehensive plan, chapter 3, subsection for the transportation, said the following statement is made in this section about Stones Mill Road. The roadway is not identified as being within a study area or needing corridor improvements or intersection improvements. Okay, I'm not sure how anyone that has ever driven down Stones Mill Road can honestly and in good conscience make that statement. Residents know how to manage the road. Visitors driving at night on those dark roads and possibly after drinking for 8 hours don't know what to expect. Approving this permit is knowingly putting visitors and residents at risk, even the ones that haven't been drinking. Case analysis performed on 9/25, the comprehensive plan, chapter 5, references economic development. So it may create some jobs, but how many of those will be from Culpeper County? What's the definition of local? The applicant is from Manassas, so how much of that is going to actually impact Culpeper County? So how many residents are actually from Culpeper County are gonna be gainfully employed by this? There's also a statement that says by creating avenues for farm-related education and making marketing of farm-related products. This can be achieved without issuing a CUP by continuing to do what they're already doing. And then one more item, the case analysis on 9/25, the planning synopsis from the staff recommendations. The following statement is made in this subsection. With any conditional use permit that is under consideration, the basis of issuance as found in Article 17-1-1 of the Zoning Ordinance Committee should be kept in mind. And I'm going to read what that is. 17-1-1, basis for issuance. Use permits may be issued for any of the conditional uses for which the use permit is required by the provision of this ordinance, provided that a governing body, upon the recommendations by the Planning Commission, shall find that after duly advertising hearing, the use will not affect adversely the health and safety of persons residing or working in the neighborhood of the proposed use. The road situation that Gary described, overcrowding of 1,700 people, 2,500 cars on the road, equipment and livestock creates an unsafe condition for residents and the event attendees. And I believe that issuing a conditional use permit violates Section 17-1-1.1, and the board would be in violation of this if a CUP was issued. The Planning Commission recommended denial of conditional use permit on October 9th, and I just want to read what they said.
Sir, would you please, you need to wrap this up in 3 minutes.
All right. The Planning Commission found the request not to be in conformance with Article 17 of the zoning ordinance, and specifically noting that the proposal would adversely affect the health and welfare of persons residing or working in the neighborhood of the proposed use. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to come up? We'll catch you next. And please limit your remarks to 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. My name's Craig Dill. If I'm supposed to tell you something else, I really don't know what it is because I haven't been here before. Let me just get to my point. My property is about 3/4 of a mile away from where they currently are located, and I can tell you on Sunday, the music is annoying. Secondly, I walk Kelly's Ford Road just about every day. I've been doing it for 15 years, and I don't know how many of these cars are going to be, automobiles are going to be coming down Kelly's Ford Road, up Kelly's Ford Road. But if half of those cars are getting to their location on Kelly's Ford Road can't support that. It's too much traffic. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
My name is Preston Madden. I live about a mile and a quarter away from the property. So you heard about the road and how it can't support this. It should also be mentioned that almost everyone that I've talked to doesn't want the road paved because we know it will increase traffic. That should speak to the desire of our community to keep it peaceful and remain remote. I did a simple search for the Rancho Ferros just to find some more information. I found a Facebook post that was on March 12th of this year. It said first event of the year, and I used Google Translate because everything is in Spanish. It says coolers with cans only, no glass. So that's not what we were told, that they were going to be able to, nothing would be brought in. So this led me to Ferros Entertainment and the Noventa Grottos nightclub. They previously mentioned in the Board of Supervisors, or the Planning Commission meeting, that they do own a nightclub. And this is all owned by the owner of the property, not the person presenting. So the owner of Rancho Ferros as well. And all I can say is that some of the imagery from those other pages were very provocative. And I have a few, but those are, you can find that by yourself if you'd like. But I also found just a very quick, they said they don't go past night. This is on their Facebook page. Or actually, I take that back. This is from the owner's, Ulyssa Leon, his page at night, October of last year. So just wanted to point that out. So obviously I can't speak to the character, and I'm not trying to shoot anyone down, but there is a certain lifestyle that I saw in the atmosphere of those videos that does not translate to the life that we live out there. And one of my biggest concerns is that the applicant stated in his presentation that everyone will go through a metal detector or be lightly frisked. The fact that that would be needed does not sit well with me, living very close. I have two young girls, and I put them to bed at 8 o'clock at night. And the reason they're not here with my wife is because of that. And I didn't have to go through a metal detector to come into this building. So that puts me at ease. Or does not, I'm take that back, does not put me at ease. So my next concern, obviously about the number of people, everybody has said anything, and I'm trying to keep this short, but so, you know, a lot of the things, my biggest thing with the number of people is I can't figure out if there are multiple types of events, and by applying for this conditional permit, do they have free reign for the festival type and are limited to the large 1,700 people, or how does that work? So if they're granted this conditional permit, do they have to apply for any of those, or as long as they keep it under 400 or 499 people, that they're allowed to do this every week? And that's also a concern. But in closing, I urge you to not only deny this application, but seriously consider putting more restrictions on the festival permits. There needs to be accountability by the applicants and the grantors to ensure the use and the permits are not abused. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come and speak? Come on up, sir.
I spoke at the last meeting we had a couple weeks ago, but my biggest concern is the road and the noise. What hadn't been brought up, and I'm a horse person, I go to horse shows, I train horses, I show horses. Horses are going to be coming in on that road in tractor trailers. Also, you have trailers that are 40 feet long with 5 and 6 horses on it. On Stones Mill Road that ain't a lane and a half wide, the road ain't built for what he wants to do. As a horse person, I feel for him, but you can't do that to that road. It's not built for it. You have to do a lot of things to that road to make it halfway decent for what he wants to do. As far as the noise, it drowns me out. The last time he showed me as being the closest neighbor of being 1,600 yards away, but he failed to show the two people that have houses right across the street. I would hate to be one of them. Again, like I said, the road is a major concern, and you're going to have tractor trailers coming up and down that road when he has an event, and it's not set up for it, and you're going to have accidents. You're going to have a lot of problems. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to come up? Sir, could you tell us your name? Al Griffith? Is your name Al? Come on.
My name is Jim Griffin. I
Jim
live
Griffin?
right across the street from what he's trying to do.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Anyone else that would like to come and speak? Come on up.
Apologize, I don't have a real presentation. I've got 4 points I'd like to make. The number of people, we can say 1,700 people tickets. I'm sorry.
Sir, could you tell us your name first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Ralph Dwyer.
Ralph
I live
Dwyer?
on Childress Road, just off of Stones Mill, approximately a mile from the site.
Thank you.
The number of people, there's no real way to evaluate that. You may have 1,700 tickets, but what about the unpaid friends or the vendors or whatever else? You could add another 300-400 people to that number. The second is, my point is the sound. Like I said, I live about a mile from the site, and we talk about woods. Well, I'm 77 acres of woods between me and him, and the last two events, I could practically had a ringside seat as far as sound went. And we've already talked about the road, and the last thing I'll wrap up with is the complaints. One of the reasons I like Culpeper is that most of the people out here are very tolerant, and we were tolerant about the first three events, and now that we know if complaints are going to be an impact on whether these things are renewed or not, I can guarantee you I will be making a complaint if the noise is at the same level it was the last time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to come forward? Come on up, sir.
Thank you all very much for the time and the opportunity to speak. My name is Clinton Aylor, Aylor. And I've not met one person in the community that wants us. We have a nice, quiet community, and we want to keep it that way. I've not met one person back in there. I live right on Stones Mill Road, but I've not met one person back there that is for this. And I guess we need y'all's help to consider the people in the community. And it's a nice, quiet community. I don't understand why people come into a community that's nice and quiet and then they want to make a change. I don't understand it. If this is big in Mexico, why didn't it stay in Mexico? I just don't understand that. And I'd like to say that I've met not one person that wants this, and we appreciate y'all's help with this. And the road, like everybody else has told y'all, the road is not built for. I have a mile frontage on Stones Mill, and I see the dust, and I've dealt with the dirt and dust from the cement trucks and the dump trucks up and down that road. And if anybody that goes behind a dump truck on an open station tractor, which we're all out on the road every day with tractors. It's very hard to do, and we appreciate if y'all can help us with this matter. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Sir?
Name is Tim Maloney, Stevensburg District. I live about a mile and a quarter away. And just to speed this up, I have nothing additional to really add to this that hasn't been said. For what it's worth, I do know 3 more families that couldn't be here tonight that feel the same way, but I would just urge you all to hear our voices, the people that have moved out there 30 years ago for a reason, to get away from people, to enjoy nature and the peace and quiet of living out in the country. And so we're there. We're already there. We didn't ask for change, and I think our opinion should hold water compared to somebody trying to move in. So just hear what we're saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to come forward? Anyone else? Mr. Haight.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a follow-up question?
When Mr. Haight is finished, sir.
10 seconds.
Can you wait for Mr. Haight, please? There's a speaker coming.
I'm sorry. Just had one
Sir,
thing.
you have had your time. Would you please let Mr. Haight come and speak?
Normally I wouldn't say anything, but I didn't know you gave people 2 chances to speak, but I'm going to keep moving. I'm not going to. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. I'm
The
going to keep
public
moving.
hearing gives you 3 minutes to speak.
He had over 3. Anyway, I believe in calling it like I see it, as you guys know this. And a previous person came up here and made a racist statement, and I'm going to call him out. And I don't appreciate him saying that if the applicant wants to have this, he should do this, she should stay in Mexico. And I'm calling it just like I see it. I've been speaking at these Board of Supervisors meetings for the last 8 years. And it's very seldom that you see such a great application that wants to bring in agritourism here in Culpeper County. This application is one of the cleanest, and if not the cleanest applications that I've seen here. All bases have been covered, all conditions have been addressed. This is exactly the type of business that Culpeper County agritourism is trying to bring to this county. Potential adverse effects. That was the slide that the gentleman had. It is a slide that you will never ever see here again, because never an applicant would tell you what the problems is, but he did tell you the problems, but he also gave you the corrective actions as well. And this speaks volume as far as the character of the applicant to come here and actually talk about the adverse effects that he might have. I think a compromise of 1,200 or 1,500 people is reasonable if you're trying to come to a reasonable compromise. I didn't hear the applicant talk about it tonight, but I believe in the Planning Commission, he talked about that he would be responsible for doing any road repairs that was caused damage to the road because of the people that have come to his events. People are concerned about the noise, but there is a noise condition that you put in there where they can't be above X amount of decibels. If that's the law or that's the conditions, then if he meets those conditions, then that's just what it is. But I believe that these are the type of the things, and these are the type of agritourism businesses that Culpeper is trying to bring, not large-scale solar developers, not large-scale data centers that were placed on Route 3, which is a prime example of spot zoning that this board actually approved, which are lights that I could see every day for the rest of my life. But I do urge that you approve this because it does fit exactly with the comprehensive plan and what Culpeper County is trying to bring. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone that has not spoken yet that would like to come forward? With that, we will close the public hearing. Are there further questions or discussion? or a motion? Mr. Bates.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to make one thing clear, and we've gone through conditional use permits for years, and one thing that really bothers me is we put limits on whether it's a dog kennel on how many dogs you can have, or if it's an event on how many people you can have. We are at a limited staff, and I don't know who, until it's a problem, that we're going to have out there that's going to count the number of people. And I think there were some very valid points that were brought up tonight, and when we talk about public safety on a road that's 1.5 lanes wide, and you've got these big trucks with these mirrors, you know, it's just amplified music with alcohol. We have gone down this in the past, and we just don't have, one, we don't have the staff to monitor it, and two, if it's a violation, it's really, it seems there's really no real recourse for it. There's really no teeth in it. So with all this that's been said tonight, and, you know, again, by right, he can do the agritourism, but taking it to the next level, I just can't support that. I'm just not in favor of that.
Other comments, questions? Ms. Gugino.
Yes, I actually just looked up the 75 decibels, which is considered a moderate to loud noise, and they're talking about a vacuum cleaner, busy street, those type of things. I understand that we put these decibel levels in place, but ultimately the attenuation, the lay of the land, how things go, you can sometimes feel that music a mile away in your home. You're sitting there. I know. There's a venue that does a festival 3 times a year, 1.5 miles from my house, and until 10 o'clock hits, I cannot go to sleep because the pounding in my chest is so heavy. That road, like I said, I travel consistently. We have cattle over in Goldvein, so that is my way to get there from Carrico Mill to Stones Mill, Kelly's Ford, and across to Summer Duck Road. So I've almost been run off that road multiple times by people speeding through there like it's a racetrack. It is only about 1.5 lanes wide, and trying to fit 2 horse trailers side by side, I don't even know if that could even be possible. The amount of people that are on that, you're talking about comparable to something that should be in a commercial area on a paved road, multiple lanes. I mean, at your starting point of 4,000, I mean, that's close to the Culpeper Rodeo, and we see how bad that traffic is coming off on a 2-lane highway. I just don't feel that this is the right area on the right roads with the right sites, that it is not capable of handling this much traffic. The festival permits allow more than the 200 people, up to the 499. I mean, I just don't feel comfortable going forward with a conditional use, especially like what Supervisor Bates said, that it's going to be a struggle to ensure that all the conditions are being met at all the times. So I am going to go with the Planning Commission's recommendation, and I make a motion that we deny the conditional use permit for case number U2252-25-1.
Made. Motion to deny.
Based on the adverse effects of the health and safety and welfare of the surrounding citizens.
The application does not meet the condition.
Oh, the application does not. Okay, the application does not meet the condition of, where's the Planning Commission thing? Of Article 17, Sections 3, is it the 3-2-2.1? Is that right?
Are we good?
I read it.
Article 17 of the zoning ordinance.
17-1-1.1, and then there's 2 more conditions after that. But the first condition is adversely affect the health or safety of persons residing or working in the neighborhood of the proposed use.
Okay, that.
And that will cover, I think, what you've been saying.
Would that work for your
Yes.
motion, Ms. Gugino?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis, do you have that?
No, I couldn't hear anything you said.
Could you say that into the microphone, John?
If you have it written down, then you can give that to me, and that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Mr. Bates is the second. Is there any further discussion?
Just briefly, I hear what Mr. Haight is saying. I hear what the neighbors are saying. In this case, I need to defer to the member of the district that represents it, so I'll be supporting the motion to deny.
Further discussion? We're going to do a roll call vote on this. Ms. Ellis, would you call the roll?
Yes.
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 That was a unanimous vote, so the motion has been denied. Is there any further business to come before the board this evening? If not, we are adjourned.